Victory. Frederick has managed to restore part of his prestige after the disastrous battles against the Russians. The French have been defeated, and a potential invasion of Brandenburg from the west has been stopped. However, the losses have been so severe that the liberation of Hesse is now unaffordable. Thus, we have failed to expel them from the duchy. While our forces were engaged in the Western Theater, the Bavarians, with Austrian support, seized the opportunity to strike at Dresden, left vulnerable and undefended. The loss of this strategic region is a grave setback, exposing our eastern flank and threatening our supply lines.
Euer Lordschaft?
Before winter ended, we successfully recaptured Dresden. Given a precarious situation, we have decided to come to terms with the Saxons and liberate their duchy under our control. This decision secures our flank and at the same time allows us to redirect the resources that would have been used to garrison the region. These will now be committed to the spring offensive, aimed at retaking the territories we lost to the Russians and Austrian.
Auf den Krieg vorbereiten!
Meine Mission? Ja. Ich werde etwas hasten.
Bereit machen! Die Waffen! Belagerung beginnen! Wir triumphieren!
Meine Augen gehören euch. Noch eine Mission?
Königsberg is once again under our rule. The Russians, exhausted by the prolonged war, failed to send reinforcements to support the medium-sized garrison stationed there. Simultaneously, the king has launched an offensive against the Austrians. Our true objective, Silesia, remains heavily guarded by Austrian forces, making a direct assault nearly impossible. To divert their attention, we have conquered Prague, hoping that this bold move will compel the Austrians to shift their forces away from Silesia, thus exposing it to our true strike.
Beginnt mit der Belagerung! Siedlungen belagert!
Was wünscht ihr? Beobachte eure Feinde.
Sie werden verraten! Ja, Sir.
Austrians have fallen squarely into our trap. Concealed by the thick fog that blanketed the field of dawn, our forces now emerge. As the mist lifts, a deadly ring of fire erupts around the unsuspecting Austrian battalions, encircled, outmaneuvered, and soon to be overwhelmed.
Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Señor, atacan a nuestro general. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The Austrians, now aware of the trap, form a chaotic, trembling wave. Their lines falter, cohesion lost in the face of sudden peril. Between the thunder of our guns and steel of our cavalry sabers, they find themselves ensnared. There is nothing they can do. No orders, no formation, no hope.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
Wir sind mächtig und unbesiegt. Ihr ergebenster Diener. Wie Ratten im Käfig.
Our strategy has worked. A nervous Vienna has dispatched part of its forces stationed in Silesia to recapture Prague. Upon witnessing the sheer size of the Austrian armies marching on the city, our forces were ordered to retreat in good order, avoiding unnecessary losses. Despite our efforts to negotiate peace, Vienna has refused our offers. As a result, we have now resolved to deliver a decisive blow against the main Austrian army stationed in Prague. We believe that a victory in this battle will finally compel Vienna to accept peace and recognize Prussian sovereignty over Silesia. The Austrians are advancing to confront our full line. The key to the battle lies in the hill that dominates the right flank, a commanding height with a clear view of the city and the Austrian artillery positions. Control of this hill would allow us to silence their guns and strike directly at the center of their formation, flanking the battalions entrenched in the central zone. Aware of its critical value, the Austrians are now redirecting multiple battalions toward the hill, desperate to seize it before we do. The contest of this height may well decide the fate of the day.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
As expected, a ferocious battle rages on the hill at the right flank. Both generals understand with absolute clarity. Whoever holds that height will hold the outcome of the entire battle. Waves of men clash amidst smoke, mud, and fire, neither side willing to yield. Battalion after battalion is thrown into the fight, as both commanders relentlessly reinforce their lines. No sacrifice is too great, no position too sacred to lose. The hill must not fall into enemy hands.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Despite the brutal fighting on the hill of the right flank, the Austrians have now launched a massive assault on our left. This left flank is dangerously underdefended. Many of our battalions had already been committed to the battle for the hill. The Austrian general has made a bold and risky move. He is gambling everything on a breakthrough in our weakened sector. If he succeeds, our left may collapse. But by doing so, he risks ceding control of the hill, a position that could still decide the entire battle. Victory now hangs in the balance.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The Austrians appear to be yielding ground on the hill. The fighting has been savage, each meter paved with blood. But now, amid the smoke and ruin, Prussian flags begin to rise over the summit. The crest, once a no-man's land of death and thunder, now trembles under the boots of our troops. The enemy resists still, but the tide is turning. Control of the hill may soon be fully ours, and with it, the fate of the Austrian center.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The last Austrian battalions have been expelled from the heights. The hill is finally ours. Now is the moment to pivot, to unleash our forces downhill and strike the exposed left flank of the Austrian center. But time is against us. The price of the hill was steep, and during our struggle, the Austrians have devastated our center and left. Those sectors now cry out for reinforcements. We must act swiftly. The hill gives us the power to turn the tide, but hesitation could see us crushed before that power can be unleashed.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The final phase of the battle has begun. Our left and center have collapsed, shattered by relentless Austrian pressure. Only the hardened units that secured the hill remain in shape to fight, standing firm upon the heights they bled to take. The Austrians, too, are spent. Their reserves are exhausted, their formations thin. Though they hold the field below, they have no strength left to push the advantage. The tide has turned. From the heights, we descend, not in full force, but with resolve unbroken. Victory shall belong.
Wir triumphieren!
The war is over. After years of brutal conflict, the British have defeated the French on the American front, shifting the global balance of power. Meanwhile, we have stood firm against the Franco-Austro-Russian invasions, enduring their might and ultimately recovering our territories. All factions are exhausted, their treasuries drained, and their people weary. At last, the courts of Europe have agreed to peace. Thus ends the 7 Years' War. Our sovereign, King Frederick, is now hailed across Europe as Frederick the Great, the indomitable ruler who preserved Prussia's survival and prestige against overwhelming odds.